Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Enjoy English School. I'm Bruce.
大家好，我是 Bernice 老师。
Today and tomorrow, we have a two-day lesson in our origins category. The origin of something is its beginning or source, S-O-U-R-C-E. S-O-U-R-C-E. The source of what? Well, let's look at the title, The Joys of Pod Life.
我们今天呢要到我们这个追根究底的这个课程里面。那么刚才老师有解释了 origin 就是一个东西的开始，它的起源。所以我们今天要讨论的是豆荚生活。同学知道什么是豆荚吗？豆荚就是那扁扁的 beans 里面那个豆荚。到底什么是豆荚生活呢？我们等一下就会知道啦。
The joys of pod life. If you're searching for a simple place to stay for a few nights, a capsule hotel might offer the perfect option for you. By providing tiny rooms and just a few basic services, these hotels can help budget travelers save lots of money. In fact, in an expensive city like Tokyo, the cost of a room at a capsule hotel can be as low as $600 NT per night. The size of a room at most capsule hotels is no larger than the length and width of a small bed. The walls are often built from plastic to keep costs low. Rooms in capsule hotels are frequently stacked side by side and on top of one another. So, if you're staying on the top level, you may need to use a ladder to climb into your room. Although there's little you can do inside your room apart from sleeping, capsule hotels usually provide other services. Shared bathrooms, dining areas, and lounges are typically available for guests to use. The first capsule hotel was built in Osaka, Japan in 1979. Many Japanese loved the idea, so more capsule hotels opened throughout the country. From there, it spread to several other nations, such as India, China, and Belgium.
Well, as I said, this is a two-day lesson, so we're ready now, day one, for our first section. First sentence. If you're searching for a simple place to stay for a few nights, a capsule hotel might offer the perfect choice for you. Oh, wait a minute. I said choice, didn't I? And in your text, it's option. Well, that's okay because they mean the same thing. If you have an option or choice to do something, you could do A or B because they are your choices or options.
好，所以刚才Bruce老师已经解释了，他是故意把这个 option 念成 choice 的，因为这两个字根本是同样的，我们中文叫选择。既然是选择，表示你可以从 A 跟 B 里面去挑一个。好，那么这个句子的意思是说呢，如果你现在正在寻找 search for 就是 look for， 你要找一个呢比较轻便的这个地方呢，比较简单的一个地方呢，可以来这边度过几个晚上的话呢，那么你可以选择什么呢 ？Capsule。什么是 capsule？ 就是胶囊这样子，椭圆形状的啊，一个胶囊的旅馆就可以提供呢这样子非常完美的一个选择了。
Well, I'm glad Bernice did this thing for capsule for you. Now, when you take medicine, very often you take a pill, which is often like a small ball. But a capsule is often that shape, and it's plastic outside with the medicine inside.
所以刚才老师讲的 pill 是小小的那种药丸，好，那我们吃的这个 capsule 呢，稍微再大一点，就是外面是塑胶的，里面就是有一些药粉在里面。
Right. And that's the idea here. A capsule is not very big, and a pill isn't very big either. So a capsule hotel already tells us that you don't have big rooms to stay in.
对，没错，所以呢，这种胶囊旅馆基本上它就不可能是太大的一个房间了。
All right, let's continue by providing tiny rooms and just a few basic services. These hotels can help budget travelers save lots of money. Well, that sounds like it's for me. That's the place I would like to stay because you can spend a lot of money staying in just an average hotel. But in a capsule hotel, you won't be spending that much money because it provides or offers the people who stay there just really what they need, a bed and a few basic services. Here, basic really means simple but useful.
好，这边呢就是借由呢 provide 就是提供，借由提供呢房间是非常的 tiny， 就是它真的是很小，可是呢里面啊其实呢所有五脏虽小，麻雀的五脏虽小，其实什么都有了，对不对？就是里面呢一些 basic services， 一些基本的服务的设备通通都有了，而且呢这些 hotel 呢还可以帮助一些所谓的 budget travelers， 就是我们中文翻成穷游者。什么叫穷游者呢？意思就是说，他比较像那种没有他的经费不是那么样的充足，他可能有固定的预算的这一群人，可以省下非常多的钱。
Now, at the end of that sentence, we have lots of. And you might wonder, is it any different from a lot of? The only difference is lots of is 比较口语的用法。If you are writing something important, then use the more formal a lot of.
对，所以一个是比较口语的方式，我们用 lots of 就是表示很多的，那么 a lot of 就是比较我们手写的这个部分。
Okay, we're on the last sentence now of this paragraph. In fact, in an expensive city like Tokyo, the cost of a room of a capsule hotel can be as low as 600 NT dollars per night, which is for Tokyo or New York, unbelievably cheap. So that's why many people prefer the capsule hotel. The cost of the room, the price of the room for the time that you stay there is just right for the budget traveler. Those who prefer to travel maybe in several cities or countries in a short period of time. They want to get out and see something, but they don't have a lot of money to do it.
没错，所以这确实是一个很好的选择，尤其是对于一些背包客来讲，他可能想要一次呢去旅行很多个城市，可是他又没有足够的经费，所以事实上呢，如果像 Tokyo 这种大都市里面这么样昂贵的一个城市里面，那么如果你真的呢要去弄一个这个所谓的胶囊旅馆的话，它的支出呢，它的花费呢，其实非常非常的低 ，as low as 就是和什么一样的低。只要一个晚上600元台币哦。
Okay, that finishes our first paragraph. Before we continue, let's take a short break. Okay, we're ready now for the next paragraph. The size of a room at most capsule hotels is no larger than the length and width of a small bed. Well, no wonder they're calling it a capsule hotel. Usually, in most hotels, the bed is one of the nicest things in the room.
没错。
Lots of room, lots of space, lots of pillows. You can feel like a king or queen in the room. And that is one way for us to describe the size of this room. A small bed is what we call a single, just one person for the bed, and that's the size of the bed in a capsule hotel.
所以这边讲到的，到底这个胶囊旅馆的里面，它内部到底有多小？你看它这边就说了，它的这个房间的 size 呢，就是大部分的这个胶囊旅馆的 size 呢，大概也不会大过于，意思就是说就这么大了。最大的这个范围呢，就是一张小床，好，一个像刚刚老讲 single bed， 就是一个人单人床的一个长跟它的宽就这么大。 就是里面就只能容纳一张床的一个 size。
And here we have two nouns. You all know long and wide, right? The adjectives. And here we have their nouns. The length of something, the width of something.
对，所以我们原本知道的是 long 跟 wide 是形容词，一个是长，一个是宽。现在你看到这个变成加 th 这边它的名词了，就是长度跟宽度。
The walls are often built from plastic to keep costs low. Very often in an average hotel, or especially a good hotel, you have stone walls, sometimes even glass dividers in parts of the room, inside of the room. But here it's just regular old plastic. It doesn't look so great maybe, but it does the job. It divides or separates different parts of a room or one room from another room. And plastic is much cheaper than if you are going to use metal or glass or stone.
所以这边就是讲呢，如果你在这个胶囊旅馆里面住，它的房间的隔间啊，基本上就比较不太可能它的材质用得很好，比如说就不可能是用这种石头啦，或者是金属类的。所以他说它的墙壁呢，基本上通常都是由塑胶所制成的。好，那再来呢，就是为什么用塑胶？因为塑胶比较便宜嘛，所以为了要 keep costs low， 让它的这个支出跟成本是保持比较低的。
That's right. It's a lower price to buy something if it's a low price. Continuing, rooms in capsule hotels are frequently stacked side by side and on top of one another. I don't know if I would like this. It sounds a little bit crowded, but for $600 NT a night, I think I can live with that.
好，所以这边就讲到他的房间了，我们就在想说，到底胶囊旅馆这个房间是怎么样一个堆叠的在一个上面呢？他就说了，基本上 frequently 经常上来说呢，它是 stacked。什么叫 stack 呢？就是整齐的堆叠。可是呢，它是 side by side， 就是你旁边跟旁边都会这样靠在一起。还有呢，它是 on top of one another， 是一个一个往上堆叠的。所以刚刚 Bruce 老师就有一点考量说，这样的房间他可能就不一定喜欢。但是又听到才600块哦，又有想要住的感觉，对不对？
That's right. So, if you're staying on the top level, remember they're stacked and you're on top, that's the top level, you may need to use a ladder to climb into your room, or better yet, to climb into your bed. It's not much of a room. Now, a ladder is simply something used by workers so they can climb up. And you can move the ladder from place to place as you need it.
所以这边就讲了，那你看它因为是这样子堆叠起来的，所以如果刚好你今天的这个房间就在最上面的这一层，那怎么办呢？那没办法，你总不能飞上去跳上去，那你就只好用一个 ladder， 就是一个梯子。好，我们要爬高的这种梯子，它的梯子是可以这样子左右移动的，那么呢就可以爬到你的房间里面去了。
Although there's little you can do inside your room, apart from sleeping, capsule hotels usually provide other services. So it's not just a bed or only a bed. We will find out very soon. Is there anything else that these capsule hotels offer besides a bed? The answer is yes, and we'll explain that in a moment.
OK， 所以他这边就讲的，虽然你可以真正在这么小的一个房间里面，你能够做的事情就只有这一个事嘛，就是睡觉嘛，就是躺在床上。其实不是这样子哦。Apart from 就是除了什么之外，就除了睡觉之外，其实你还有一些什么事情可以做呢？他就说了 ，Capsule Hotels 呢，其实呢，通常还有提供一些其他的服务哦。
Right. So the next sentence and the last in this paragraph.Shared bathrooms, dining areas, and lounges are typically available for guests to use. So these are some other services in the capsule hotels. Shared bathrooms, that's not unusual, especially in Europe. Dining areas where you can eat with other people. and lounges, places where you can relax, and maybe there's a TV there or some internet services. These are normally or usually available in this kind of Capsule Hotel.
所以在这个胶囊旅馆里面，除了你有一张床可以睡觉，它还有什么呢？大家一起共享的卫浴设备，你要洗澡啊，然后你用餐的地方也是共享的，还有呢有一些休息室。那他们呢一般来说 typically 就是正常，一般来说呢，它都是只要你在里面你是房客，通通都是可以使用的。
Okay, we have one more paragraph and we'll do it right after this break. All right, let's finish up. But remember, we're just finishing up day 1. We're going to continue giving you a lot more information about these capsule hotels tomorrow. The first capsule hotel was built in Osaka, Japan, in 1979. Well, that goes back over 40 years. And it doesn't surprise me that the Japanese thought of this idea. They're always making things small.
没错，没错。对，所以刚才我们就觉得说，从日本先开始有这样的胶囊旅馆，其实也没有什么好讶异的，因为确实日本人他们对于比较小型的一些 size 的东西，他们很会做这些东西。所以第一间呢的胶囊旅馆就是呢在这个 Osaka， 就是大阪这个地方呢所建造的，然后时间呢是大概40多年前1979年。
Many Japanese loved the idea, so more capsule hotels opened throughout the country. Well, there has to be a first of everything, and whoever thought of the idea must have been very happy because other Japanese decided, well, for one thing, we can save a lot of money, and secondly, if you're traveling in many places, as businessmen, businesswomen do, you don't really need a big room to relax in every night. You're on business, so capsule hotels tend to be for the business community. Now, throughout something is everywhere within a place. That is throughout. In this case, throughout Japan, that will be in many cities. From north to south.
所以这边呢说得很清楚了，因为这个胶囊旅馆的这个创造这样的发明呢，所以没想到呢就这么样的受到欢迎了，许多的日本人都非常喜欢这样一个聪明的 idea， 对不对？所以呢那当然了，越来越多的这些胶囊的旅馆呢就开始 opened， 记得要用过去式，因为这个时间是在1979年开始慢慢的这样子开幕的。然后呢它的这个动作是 throughout the country， 刚刚老师讲了，throughout 的意思就是遍及，在一个国家里面到处都有的意思，所以意思就是说，在 Japan 这个国家，到处你都可以看得到这个胶囊旅馆。
Okay, one more word about open here because we can see some signs open for business. That means we're not closed. But here, opening is to begin a business, to start a business.
没错，所以这边的 open 是指你开始营业的意思了。
From there, that is from Japan, it spread to several other nations such as India, China, and Belgium. From there, meaning Japan, it is this idea of the capsule hotel. Spread is to move from one place to another widely. Again, throughout. The word we just talked about is very useful here when you're talking about spread. Something spreads throughout a place. India, China, and Belgium, that's not here in Asia. That's a small but important country in Europe.
没错，所以呢，从这个之后呢，就是从这样子日本到处都有这个胶囊旅馆之后呢 ，it 就是指这个胶囊旅馆的这样的一个想法已经开始 spread， 所以刚刚老师讲了 ，spread 会跟 throughout 有时候会并用，比如说你要讲到一个东西会传播出去，比如说疾病啦或者是什么东西 ，OK， 它传播到了散播到了其他呢一些国家，那这些国家大部分都是亚洲国家啦，像印度啦 China， 但是另外一个是 Belgium。比利时也有这个胶囊旅馆了。
Okay, that is our text. That is our information for today. We will talk more tomorrow and finish this because it's a 2-day lesson.
没错。
We'll take a short break now, and
好的。
when we come back, we have some important words to review with you.
好的，我们进入到 review 的课程喽。
Okay, let's take a look in our first paragraph. We've got 2 review words for you. The first is option, and we already mentioned that is a choice. The verb is to opt, O-P-T, but then we usually add to opt to do something.
所以这个字呢，当名词的时候叫做选择，那么也可以等于 choice, C-H-O-I-C-E。那当动词的时候是 O-P-T， 是它的动词的选择。
To provide is to give or offer people something they need.
这个字是动词，表示提供、给予的意思。
In the second paragraph, we have the word plastic, which is a man-made material that has a million uses.
所以我们这个很常见的一个这个材质就是塑胶类的。
Another word in this paragraph is ladder. It's a piece of equipment that we use or workers use in order to climb up. But it's not stairs. It's a piece of equipment you can move around. That's a ladder.
所以这个 ladder 跟这个楼梯是不一样的，基本上是当做工具，好，工人来使用的楼梯。
Next is apart from. We could say besides, B-E-S-I-D-E-S, besides something, or other than.
所以这个 apart from 还有2个意思，我们中文都是翻除此之外，但它第一个意思是等于 besides， 就是除此之外还有，但如果表示 other than 的意思呢，就是不包括这个东西了。
And the last review word in this paragraph is typically. And I already said you could use usually or normally.
一般来说，通常来说。
The last paragraph, throughout, again, that's in many places in a particular area.
它是当介系词，表示遍及的意思。
And she just mentioned that spread often goes with throughout because it's to move from one place to another within an area.
对，在一个同样的区域里面，它会不断的散播出去。
Okay, we have a lot more for you tomorrow in day 2. Please join us then. Until then,
Bye.
bye-bye.